Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services in Eastland, Texas. Tune in every week as we share important information to help you and your family live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, legacy and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
Good Friday afternoon. This is Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy on Black and White Market Minute. We wanted to come with you with a brief, positive look at all the things that are going on in the market to help ease your minds a little bit.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and he said, well, why don't you give a market update and then tell me why I shouldn't jump off the cliff? I was like, you know what, that's probably a good idea. We don't want any cliff jumping right now.
We've got to stay the course.
So let's talk about this week in the market. It was brutal. It was not a fun week. You know, the NASDAQ was down almost 7% last week. The S&P was down 5%. The bright spot was internationals. The EFI was up, or was basically flat, and energy was pretty close to being flat for the week. But other than that, there was a lot of selling going on, right. and it should have. You know, one of the things that happened, and is the most important in my mind, was Powell came out, the Fed chief came out and said that they were willing to go past neutral. So neutral would be where our interest rates need to be to accompany both growth and combat inflation. If they're going to go past that, then they're telling us that inflation is more important than growth, and they're willing to hurt growth to taper inflation.
Which that's the common thing, right? Usually the Fed drives a recessionary event, we recoup and go. And I would have to say, I think the thing that I was most positive about was the fact that the Fed did something versus what they've been doing, which is a lot of nothing or very slow. Okay, so they're coming to the party.
Yes, the Fed is acting. There's no more of this transitory talk. They've got a little bit of catch up to do, so they're going to be more aggressive, and we're going to see the effects market-wise of what they're doing a lot sooner. And guys, I know it's a little bit more painful, but please bring it on. We want to get through this. We don't want to be dragging this out for 2 or 3 years. Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let the Fed do what they're doing, and let's see how the market reacts, and because that's going to drive the Fed to do something else. You know, just like 2018, they reacted to the market.
I thought it was awesome, and I don't know, you know, some people may have noticed it. So we were talking about it. The market kind of put a bluff in with the Fed. The Fed called their bluff, meaning the market went up in anticipation for Fed Powell to speak, and he spoke. And then, was it almost the next day, fatonk, you know, we had a huge corrective day. And so, which is great, because that's what's supposed to happen.
Yeah, that was when Powell came out and said that he was going to go past neutral, that should have been a very negative day. But the market loved it. It went through the roof that day. I can't remember if it was 1.5%, 2% move. It was a big move. And it's like, this should not have happened.
Right.
And it took it all back the next day.
Plus some.
It was down 4% the next day. So that's what should have happened, and that's a very positive thing. We need to get the investors out that believe that this is transitory. We need to shake out the lower limbs of investors. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, we need to get down to the true fundamentals of investing and pay what things should cost, not pay. Okay, so we're always willing to pay more for something on borrowed money, right? We need to get back down to what would the sweat of our brow pay for this item, and I think that's really where I'm trying to go. We need to get back to the basics and pull out all the fluff and the world or the market goes up forever. So I know we don't have much time, but one of the things I was asked to do was say something positive. And after this week is kind of tough. But I do have one. China is lowering their interest rates. It's on the mortgage side. They're trying to push people to have the ability to buy real estate cheaper. And, you know, you can look at it either way, but things do not happen until
countries or people act. And China took the first step of lowering interest rates. They are pushing for growth. Here in the U.S., we're going the other way. We're trying to slow things down. So if the rest of the world is already easing, lowering interest rates, trying to spur their growth in their economies, that's really going to help us play catch up when we decide to do the same thing. We don't want to be the first mover. This is a global world, especially when it comes to economics. If the rest of the world is already humming when we're trying to pull ourselves out of a recession or a market downturn, it's going to make it a lot easier on us, and that is a positive thing.
Well, we really took off quicker than China did. We didn't, we slowed but didn't stop. China shut down. They had a different COVID policy, and they just kind of recently opened back up. So they're ready to grow again, and we need to check back just a little bit more, and then we'll be right there with them.
Once we're all on the same page, hey, we should take off. The world economy is very, very powerful. Just think about all of our futures. And when I talk about that, how much is our lives going to change in the future? That's not going to slow down. Technology is going to continue to advance. Our refrigerators are going to be talking to us. Our refrigerators are going to be ordering milk for us.
They do.
Yes.
They do right now.
Yes. The market, our lives are going to change, and that's going to come through technological innovation. The momentum of that is still very, very powerful and positive. So, guys, everybody keep your head up. Only thing we're experiencing right now is price movement. Nothing's broken. We're just getting opportunities to take advantage. We're getting opportunities to buy great companies at a very good price.
That's right. And again, if you need anything, please call us. We're here for you. We're here to serve you. Want to take care of you and keep your mind at peace. So again, this is Matt Ervin and Aaron Kennedy on Black and White Market Minute.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services. If you have questions, you can email them to lifeplanning@kennedy-financial.com. Be sure to tune in next week for more Life Planning 101. The opinions expressed herein are those of the firm and are subject to change without notice. The opinions referenced are as of the date of publication and are subject to change due to changes in the market or economic conditions and may not necessarily come to pass. Any opinions, projections, or forward-looking statements expressed herein are solely those of the author, may differ from the views or opinions expressed by other areas of the firm, and are only for general informational purposes as of the date indicated. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, a registered investment advisor, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Smart Money Group LLC. Kennedy Financial Services and Smart Money Group LLC are separate entities and are not owned or controlled by Calton & Associates Incorporated.